If it feels like everything is going up in price with Pokemon, you're right. That's very true. And on our Tuesday trends, looking at things going up, we've got some stuff to get into. Let's dive in. Legendary Treasures Booster Box. Why would I go back to a black and white era booster box? Well, let's just say there's this feeling of nothing being available. Let's take Evolving Skies, for instance. Evolving Skies, big set, big reprints, a lot of stuff coming out, tons and tons and tons of graded cards. Proof that there must be thousands upon thousands of booster boxes out there. Because if the pulls, which are horrendous, if the pulls have that many graded cards, think of how many that are ungraded, think of how many are unopened, and then all the packs that go along with that just in the pull rates. There's a lot of stuff out there. The problem is, it's foolish to sell anything, so things are not on the market. When you have something older like this, black and white era Legendary Treasures, when you have something that's legitimately harder to find, you set the price to whatever you want if you're willing to sell. That's why with only one listing, we're coming in a whopping $4,000 for this booster box. Doesn't sell that often, and sure as heck wouldn't want to buy that off of TCG Player. You'd want to hold that in your hands before you fork over that kind of dough. Similar story on Team Up. This is Sun and Moon, you know? Yeah, that's a little bit more recent, right? A little bit closer to modern, because we had Sun and Moon era. Then we went into our Sword and Shield, and now Scarlet and Violet. So not too long ago. $4,500 though. This is a chase set from that era. Probably the chase set from that era. $4,500. Are we going to see that with Evolving Skies? Does that seem like something we're going to find? Maybe during this boom we do have this dramatic spike, and there's justification for it. It's saying $1,267, but the actual price is going to be putting you in the neighborhood of $1,500 or close to it. So maybe there's justification for this price. I think we're actually down closer to like a $900 box when it's all said and done, because there are a lot of collectors, there are a lot of investors, there are a lot of people sitting on these. Because if they see this spike, why offload it at this price? It was floating around that $675, $700 mark for a while. And there was a temptation that, hey, maybe we've hit a pretty solid spot that it's time to sell. So if you would have sold 2 back then, it'd be the same as selling 1 now. Actually, you do even better now. So with that in mind, anybody who's holding on to these is going to be holding for the long haul. What does that mean? What does that mean for the future of this hobby? What does that mean for the upcoming sets that seem to have such horrible difficulty obtaining? But remember, scalpers are riding the wave of a boom, thinking they're making a quick buck and getting out. You see all these videos circulating, showcasing how much stock they're sitting on? Absolutely disgusting. But you don't have to buy it for that. You don't have to pay that price. Fusion Strike coming in at almost $500 a box. And I think we actually get down to it. It's just about there. Yeah, almost. We're at 470, 85, 485. Okay, 485 listed up here. Market says it's 242. I don't think so. 485 here. 490, that seems a little bit more realistic for that market price there. I don't know what the charts are doing over here. Maybe they just couldn't get the data. Where are we at? Do we have anything? There we go. 490 up there. All right, that makes more sense. The charts are just a little off. So Fusion Strike, again, if you're sitting on this, you're not going to want to sell it. You're going to see this go to 600. That's where you're aiming for it, you know, for Fusion Strike. Lost Origin, this one has spiked recently. We thought we peaked out at this 225 for a while there, and then it was floating around and going up and down, up and down, up and down over the past year, and now we've shot up to this 385 mark. Nobody's going to offload this so easily because they're going to want to squeeze every penny they can out of it, because if they sold at 385 and the next month it's $500, they're going to feel foolish. Things are moving too quickly to be okay giving it up. This is why the product availability is not great, because everybody wants to hold before, you know, that bubble bursts and then it comes down, and then you're going to see these mass sell-offs. Is that going to translate to the new inventory? Is that going to translate to Prismatic? Is that going to move into the Rocket set coming up, or Journey Together that was just announced? Maybe, maybe not. But don't buy from these scalper prices. Don't feed the market this if you're looking to pick up product. Do not FOMO. Do not have a fear of missing out and therefore spending foolishly in an unwise way. 151 UPCs. I just saw a post. Somebody found these in the wild. They found these in the wild this week. I can't believe it. And they were probably paying MSRP like 120, something like that. They said it was a good deal, like $100 or 120. I don't remember, but finding that in the wild, pick it up. You find that at MSRP, you pick it up. That's the thing to do. Not because I think you need to go be blown $100 a pop every time you see it, but if you see it, you've already got the option to turn around and sell it at this. And this isn't even as crazy as some of these prices get, but you have that option. The market's there. People are buying it. I mean, 91, 112, 111, 80, 158. Like, people are buying these at these prices. I don't know. It kind of makes you feel like, oh, am I being a scalper then? I don't know. I don't know. It's really a messy game. As an investor, just my own 2 cents, with my journey, the thing I'm doing here, I'm holding. Although I'm getting to a point where there's a bunch of stuff in my collection that I don't even really feel like I need or want anymore. So I'm kind of thinking I should start going through it and see what am I willing to part with. Because we're on a little bit of a growth here, my willingness to part with it may give an opportunity for a little bit more money to squeeze out of it. But I don't know. Or maybe I should just go through that back stock and open some stuff up and enjoy it with all of you and share the love or something. I don't know. Sword and Shield UPC. That Charizard box, $225. We're just seeing these graphs, these charts shooting straight up real quick, really accelerated increases to a scary point, which is why everything's just teetering on an edge right now. Because Pokemon Company can dispel a lot of this and just flood the market. They could journey together. They could flood the market with more booster boxes than the last 10 sets. They could go crazy if they wanted to. And flood the market so the value isn't MSRP or higher or crazy stuff like that. And because the attention will be drawn there, it'll cool all of these other things off because the sales are not happening. It will automatically pull the market down. The few sales that are happening are going to be much more selective. They're going to wait for a little dip in the price. You got to race to the bottom to sell it off just to make the buck. It's not hard to maneuver the entire market, but you need a little bit of a standing to do so, and Pokemon Company can do that. I fear that they're manipulating their own market to create an enhanced popularity. That Prismatic is so scarce and so bad of pull rates that they're trying to create this thirst for the industry, for the hobby. And whoever has any, it's like winning a lottery. It's not that special. It's just Pokemon product. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I've seen some things in the wild I was surprised by. It's just interesting that Scarlet and Violet base booster box is already getting close to that 150 mark. This is one that's not popular. It's actually really easy to complete. You could master this set in a couple booster boxes, 2-3 maybe. You could probably master the set. You'd have to have like perfect pull rates, but it wouldn't be that hard to get close to mastering it and picking up a couple singles and you're done. So not a difficult set, but we are pushing up in price. And is this a sign of what's to come? The Surging Sparks Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box had a huge spike early on. The hype was unreal. This is where this boom really kicked off. And everybody saw it, $160. We were going crazy. Yeah, we got to get this. Then set releases. All right, the set releases, and things start to take a turn and tumble back down, a little bit back to reality, but still a $100 box for what was otherwise $65, $60, whatever it was, on Pokemon Center MSRP. So it's still got a $40 increase on top at its bottom here for the secondary market. And then it's just been a climb ever since. Are we going to see that with Prismatic Evolutions? Are we going to see this crazy $150 that it's listed for now, price or whatever it is, coming down? Or maybe that's the regular ETB at $150 almost. I don't know. Are we going to see that coming down upon release and getting to a more reasonable, more manageable price range? Not that I think it's worth it for a regular ETB, double MSRP. I don't think that's worth it. But are we going to see it even more dramatic fashion? And then over time, let it grow back in because there's a boom? Or are we already moving on to Journey Together because the availability is there? It's really messy out there. And I don't know. Maybe it's just too hard to get anything. Maybe it's too hard to get anything. So be a part of the channel and have your chance at getting something. I am giving away an ETB. I'd like to give a Pokemon Center version away if it's available upon the conclusion of this giveaway, which is we reach 5,000 subscribers, we're doing the giveaway. That's the way it works. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for your chance to win. If we can't do that particular ETB I have in mind, should it not be available or something, just a Pokemon Center version, I'm going to give you a Brilliant Stars ETB out of my own collection. So, or maybe I'll let the winner choose, just because maybe they're eyeing that over a Shrouded Fable Pokemon Center version. I don't know. That's one prize. That's the grand prize. And then also 5 Pokemon mystery card lots. I'm trying to share the love. Want to get to that 5,000 subscriber mark as soon as possible. So be a part of the channel. Make sure you comment down below, but also do an additional comment on this video here. That's where I'm going to be pulling the winners from for that 5,000 subscriber giveaway. So make sure you're a part of it and join up on the rule here. Looking into some of these cards here, the Eevee, just an illustration rare out of Twilight Masquerade. Not all cards are going up. I pulled some of the more modern, more sought after cards, and it seemed like about half of them are on the upside and half are kind of coming down a little bit. So interesting to see that the singles market is not as explosive as the sealed market for this boom time here. You would think everything's kind of rising together, but it seems that the singles prices are not as sought after as the box it could be within, and chances are it's not because there's some of the higher chase cards. Twilight Masquerade Eevee has really gone up over the past like month or so. My goodness, because we were thinking this is kind of crazy when it got up to that $50 range, and here we are over 100. This says 91. It's pretty darn close. Let's see. Okay, 90 there. Not bad stats there to say 90 bucks. So, okay, about $90 here. But pretty good for an illustration rare if you ask me. So if you got that, that might be one worth holding on to. If it's good condition, it might be worth grading. And also it's Eevee. It's a really cool one. So why wouldn't you want an Eevee card like that, especially with Prismatic coming along? It might have a little jump even still because it's part of that whole fun, the chase of the evolutions there. The Greninja EX out of Twilight Masquerade, the chase card. Don't know when this one's ever going to stop growing. It seems like it has no end in sight for growth. Interesting, just because of the other sets around it. Nothing else was really coming close to this. Nothing else functioned this way as far as typical FOMO price coming down, recovering, and then a slow build up. This has just been a climb up to this $333 price tag here. The Charizard EX from Paldean Fates has done some growth over the past year, though. It did spike up similarly to this price range, come back down, and that was just, I think that was pretty early on, right? And then we have this growth back up, but these last couple months, things have just exploded. Really gotten crazy. $238.50 on that Magikarp out of Paldea Evolved. I've got quite a bit of sealed Paldea Evolved. It makes you tempted to, like, maybe I should open it up and see if I can get that Magikarp, because one, it'd be a great card to have. Two, I can't afford to buy it at this single price here, and that sealed stuff I bought when the set was dirt cheap. I mean, I was picking up ETBs 6 months after release for like $32 because nobody was wanting it, and then things started taking off all of a sudden for that Magikarp. It was very interesting. So we're pretty high up there. The last one I want to look at here is Charizard EX. I've been seeing a lot more posts of 151 going around X and everything. People going, is this real? Is this fake? One in particular comes to mind where they asked about a Charizard, and it was so obviously fake. You got to be careful what you're looking at. Even if it's an eBay listing and you think the photos are good, you got to be worried a little bit about what they're sending you too, because pictures might tell you one story, what you actually receive could be another, and you can't just trust it. You got to be careful when you're buying, especially in this price tag, this price range. People are out to make money, and that includes people who are less than morally decent people, I guess. There's a lot of crooks out there who want to give you some fakes and counterfeits and then just pocket the cash and run. So you got to be careful with this stuff going on, because we are getting to some wild prices. The $230 range on this card here. Interesting to see how much is going, but if you dig a little deeper, how many single cards are not growing at this time and actually declining. So interesting time to be here. If you got some sealed product and you're not thinking you want to open it, just hold hold on to it for a little bit, see where it's going. I don't think there's any reason to panic unless you're trying to sell off and reinvest in other things, but you got to have an avenue of where you can acquire that, because seriously, it's slim pickings right now. Don't forget about the giveaway I mentioned earlier in the video. You got to take a look in the description below. I give you those details about the ETB you can get, or the 5 Pokemon mystery card lots that I'm doing. Just got to be a part of the channel. That's the biggest thing, of course. You need to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We are working for 5,000 subscribers right now, which would be a halfway point to my goal for the year, 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2025 if we can do it. And I think with your support, it's totally possible. So be around for the videos. I do post every single day. So with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.